morning, my name is Jim Nealon. I'm with the Sherborn Business Association, and we're here this morning in Sherborn on a remodeling job that JM Hobby Contracting is working on here in Sherborn. But let me talk first just a moment about the Sherborn Business Association. We're here in town to promote the businesses of Sherborn, and our goal is threefold. First of all, we're trying to serve the many needs of the local businesses by making sure that the local businesses are represented to the town and to the outlying areas within this metropolitan area, within the Metro West Boston area. We want to show what our local businesses can do for the community, and we also want to make sure that the community understands the local municipal laws, processes, and proposals that are happening within the town so that the town can understand what's going on within Sherborn. So we're here this morning in Sherborn with a remodeling project that JM Hobby Contracting is doing. He's remodeling a house, a piece of a house here. We're going to meet John right now. John, come in and we'll talk with you about what you're doing here in this remodeling job. Good to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Good, thank you.
Good. Cool day this morning.
Yeah, a little brisk out.
You're working on a house here on the second floor, of a house here in Sherborn.
Yep.
And you're doing what here?
We're doing a master suite remodel. This is a 1967's home. All the houses built around that area had a very low ceiling height, about a 7'6", no more than 8-foot ceiling height. So the customer wanted to raise the ceiling height and get some height out of it. We're remodeling the bathroom and we're remodeling the closet with some custom built-ins. We're throwing some transom windows in on that supporting wall. We bumped up the service to the house because we needed to. Electrical service. And we'll be refinishing the hardwood floors and then paint, and we're actually throwing in some new windows in the master suite.
So give me some numbers. Bumping up the electrical service from what to what?
It went from 100 to 200 amp service.
Okay. And why did they need 200 because of this remodeling?
Well, the current codes dictate we have to bring a lot of ground faults back to the panel. You know, back in 1967, 100 amps was a lot of amps for houses, but today we have 1 million recessed lights, we have pools, we have air conditionings, we have everything under the sun, and you know, the panel was maxed out.
And so the 200 will take care of that? The
200 will take care of it with a lot of room to spare, plus the homeowner's looking at doing a generator. You know, we're losing power a lot more these days, so that's another issue. We're going to hook up a Generac so he can you know, have his well, because in Sherborn when you lose power, you lose water.
So here, numbers again, 8-foot ceiling, normal to 10, is it what we're
It's just shy of 10 feet. We framed it just shy of 10 feet. So basically, the ceiling rafters used to come right down to the top plate. So you can see that we removed them and we supported them with hurricane clips by code, and we reframed the ceiling up to, it's actually I think about 116 inches at finish, and then put a supporting beam in to carry the load.
And what are you doing from a heating and air conditioning standpoint? Are you changing anything?
Customer doesn't have air conditioning right now. The heating is staying the same, although in the bathroom we are going to put a heated floor in, and that'll be on a programmable timer. So when the customer gets up, that could come on at 4 in the morning, and by the time they walk in there, it'd be nice warm floor.
Radiant heat.
Radiant floor heat, and that's electric, not forced hot water.
Very good. Okay. So when did you start the project, and how long will it take?
We started the project a week ago today. We're done framing. We're done electrical. We'll be done plumbing today. We'll get our inspections all tomorrow. Friday we have an insulator coming. We're going to spray insulation in here. The new codes today dictate that we have to bring the insulation up to code. Years ago when this house was built, they have R11 in the walls. Today we have to have 21 in the walls, 30 on a slope, and 38 on the ceiling. So
and
we
you're
do
able
that.
To blow that into the walls.
Well, we use a closed cell foam, so they come and they spray that, and every inch is a specific R value. I need 20 or 30 in that wall, so in that 5 inches of that 2x6, I can get my 30. I can't do that with conventional insulation. I'd have to pack that wall down. We lose a lot of height. So it's a little more costly, but the end result is a lot nicer.
You're able to blow it in.
Yep, they come right in here and spray it. It's like spraying Gorilla Glue, and it hardens just like Gorilla Glue. So we'll do that on Friday. We'll get our inspections for that on Monday. Tuesday we'll hang the blue board. Wednesday we'll hopefully plaster. The plasterer was here this morning. And then after the holiday, we'll start trimming and making things look nice.
So a novice doesn't understand the blue board. I don't know. What
Plaster, drywall, another word for that would be drywall. That's actually blue board.
Right. Now you mentioned inspection. What kind of inspection has to be done?
Oh man, we have to have an electrical inspection, we have to have a plumbing inspection. Once those two inspections are done, we can get a framing inspection. Once the framing inspection is done, we insulate and get an insulating inspection. Then when we're done with all the finished carpentry, we have to get a final on the plumbing, the electrical, and a final on the construction.
So they come back again?
They come back again, yeah.
Inspection.
So the fees that we pay brings them out actually twice, each trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Interesting. So what is your most difficult part of this particular project?
This project's like every other project. The most difficult part of any project is just coordinating. And it's difficult for me because I'm a hands-on builder. I'm not just a cell phone builder. I'm actually here working with the guys. I wear the tool belt. There's 3 of us that do the job. So not only am I part of the work crew, but I also have to coordinate everything. And that's sometimes very difficult. It's 4:30 in the morning and late in the evenings getting supplies where the other guys just get to go home.
So tell me about yourself. How did you get to this point? Well, you know, I understand you told me that you're a Sherborn boy.
Yeah, I grew up in Sherborn on Bridle Path. Graduated in 1983 from Dover Sherborn High School and went to Roger Williams College for law enforcement. And I was actually a Sherborn police officer for a while. And you know, they get paid so much. So I left that trade and got into contracting, and I was a heavy rigger contractor, moving big machines. I did that for a long time, and a lot of travel involved in that, and it got old after a while. And I always liked remodeling, and I got into it, and it's been a great opportunity for me. And we're lucky to work in this town. You know, the people in Sherborn like things done well, and so it's just been a transition of different types of contracting. But since probably 2005, I've been residential, and I only do residential. I don't really do any commercial work.
So at some point you figured out how to do all this stuff. I mean, I know how to drive a nail if I don't hit my thumb. At some point you figured out how to get all this done. There's some project management involved, obviously. A lot of project management.
Tons of project management.
There's a lot of expertise in you know, measure twice, cut once kind of stuff. So how did you learn this?
I didn't go to trade school for it. I guess I just I don't know, in the rigging business, it was a very fine industry where we installed things to half a thousandths. This industry is a lot less tolerant. The big thing with this industry is just knowing the code and building to the code. And there's no real one way to frame something. It's just do it the best way you can so you meet the code. I mean, I'm a licensed contractor. I did go to school and got my license for that. I'm a home improvement contractor also, and I've got my EPA registration for lead and everything. So just over a course of time, I mean, I remember when I first started the job, putting in a window would keep me up at night. And now I don't even give it a second thought. So if someone asked me, you know, when I started my residential business about raising a roof in a bedroom, I'd probably have a heart attack. And now it's just sure. Yeah. You know. So I guess
second nature now.
Yeah, and I guess your confidence level grows, and you've crossed these bridges, and you understand construction more when you're around it, and then you look at it and go, yeah, there's no reason we can't do this.
So let me guess, since everything is custom built and everything is a new adventure anyway, so there's not anything that you had to learn to do exactly the same way again and again and again, because everything's...
Not really. I think the only thing you fine tune is the way you go about things. You know what the other trades need. I know what my plumber needs as we're working, so I try to do things that fit him, so we're not doing it again. I know what the electricians need. I know we need to block over for light switches because of window casings and door casings, and just stuff that the mistakes that you made in the past, you kind of cut them off. You become a little more efficient. You learn the process a little better each job, and each job you learn. Each job you learn. Like a house like this, you know, the drywall on this is at least 5/8 thick. Sometimes it's 7/8 thick because there's a lot of plaster, and this is rock lath. Today's homes, it's only a 1/2 inch. So I know that in a house like this, when we make this cut and add our new blue board, we're going to have to fur these walls out to bring it out from 1/2 inch new to 7/8. So I didn't know that years ago, and that was a lot of work. Now you know it. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a process of experiences.
And how'd you develop your subcontractors? You seem to be real comfortable with your plumber, electrical, etc.
I use the same guys all the time. They're friends of mine. A couple of them I grew up with. But you know, when you work with guys, you build a team kind of environment. We both can bounce off each other, ideas, questions. My plumber's really good at, you know, when we're talking about bathroom remodels, I like to bring Mike in because, you know, he knows plumbing. Can we move the toilet, Mike, from here to here? Yes, okay, or no, we can't. And I don't want to make a promise to a customer, yeah, we'll move that toilet over here, and then we can't. So having the same guys, like Jay, who was here earlier, you know, he came out here to measure the board because he's concerned he wanted to get enough blue board. And you know, the insulator will show up later on. He wants to make sure he comes with enough. So it's the same guys all the time, makes a big difference.
Interesting.
You know.
Well, let's take a look at what you're actually doing and give us some ideas of the challenges that you've got in moving things from here to there and changing some things around. So let's go take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, John, this looks like a bathroom to be, perhaps, or so I think you've told me.
Yep.
What's happening in here?
This was the existing master bath. The footprint of this bath hasn't changed too much. We had an existing vanity that we removed, and it'll be replaced with a new vanity. It was a 2-sink vanity. It'll be a 2-sink vanity. The location of the toilet will stay the same. What we primarily did here is there was some built-ins.
What's the light going on there?
The thermal couplers and the lights kick on and off when we put the construction lights in. That won't happen when we're all done. Right. There was some crazy built-ins in this wall that just didn't suit the customer. We're going to take that space and put it into the master closet. We are doing one small built-in here for her for linens. But we're going to try to regain that and put it in the master closet. And in doing so, we reframed this wall and took a shower that was only 36 by 36 with a 20-something inch door.
So 36 looks like it was about that wide.
Yeah,
for the shower,
36 inches is, you know, from there to there. So it's real small.
It's that wide. Wow.
And then it's not much.
Yeah, 36.
You know. So that was your standard shower back then. And so what we're doing today is we made a 56 by 44 inch shower. We incorporated a bench seat in here for the customer. We elevated the ceiling in here to be the ceiling height of the master bedroom, and we're putting transom windows in on that wall to let some light from this room into the master bedroom and vice versa. And then we've increased this door size. We're going to have a 30-inch piece of glass here, frameless.
And is that a custom thing that you do?
The door will be custom made by Norfolk County Glass.
They're friends of yours?
Yep, they do all our glass work, they do all our shower doors. It'll all be tile. We actually do a copper pan. We do it the old school way. And we'll have a tiled floor, tiled ceiling. And we put a Fantech fan in. This is a really nice fan system. It has a small halogen light. The fan is up in the roof. So you know when you walk into a bathroom, you hear that?
So no noise,
yeah, very quiet fan system. Recessed lights. We're going to do some sconces for her. And again, the whole thing was rewired.
The tile work is from a friend also?
Tile work is Brian Osborne, and he does all our tile work. Actually a neighbor of mine. Outstanding tile guy. And these tiles will be 13 by 13.
So then over here in the vanity, you're going to do granite tops? Is that the idea?
Yep. We do the vanity is a wooden vanity. We're going to have a granite top on it. Our granite's done by Galaxy Granite. Karen, the owner of the house, and I will be going there later today to help pick out her granite. And we'll incorporate a granite threshold and a granite seat top. So we put a nice little pitch on that bench. So all this granite will tie in. You'll have a granite vanity, a granite threshold, and then the seat in the shower will have a piece of granite on it too. So it'll tie in real nice.
Now, how do you deal with humidity and those issues in a bathroom? Is that what this exhaust?
Well, this Fantech system's an outstanding system. I mean, you could take a dollar bill and probably throw it at it, and it'll pull it up. So it's a lot of SCFM. Higher ceiling helps. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the amount of air.
Yeah, it's the amount of air moving.
Coming through.
Something square foot per minute or whatever, but it's called SCFM.
Cubic feet per minute.
Yeah. Great buzzword.
Yeah.
But the humidity will be pulled out with this. We made a bigger shower, so and of course a taller ceiling is going to help with some air movement in here.
Great. And so what do you do on the walls? Is it painted walls when they're finished?
Yep, all the walls will be finished in plaster and then painted. In the other bathroom we did for her in January, we actually tiled up the walls in her children's bath. This bathroom will not have any tile on the walls. We'll have baseboard, obviously tile on the floor, and we're doing that heated floor. And here's the programmable thermostat. So we'll run the leads down to the heated floor. Tile floor, painted, finished, trimmed.
And in some remodeling, you do crown molding and special treatment with the finish work?
This customer wasn't interested in any of that. You know, we offer it. Obviously, we're going to trim out the windows and everything. But with these slope ceilings and stuff, it's kind of tough to do the crown mold. There's nothing to really land it on, but they weren't interested in that. And then, of course, all the bath fixtures and everything, we work with her. You know, it's important that I know what they're looking for in advance, because sometimes, a perfect example, this house is half-inch plumbing. A lot of customers want these big rain heads. They think that's really cool. It is, it's great. But the existing plumbing in the house doesn't have enough water, enough volume to make the rain head work.
What's considered, this is half, what's considered the right size?
Well, you'd probably need three-quarter to get enough volume to have a big rain head in the middle. But she still chose a nice rain head style shower head, so she'll still get a nice pattern. But that's the kind of thing that, you know, the customers work with some people, and in this type of project we really don't need architects involved. Not taking anything away from the architectural trade, but you know, we've done enough bathrooms and I know enough about this stuff where if a customer just said, hey, can you help me design this, take me to these different places. I take customers to the different supply houses. We're going to go to the Granite Place today, because I want to be involved in their purchases and know what they're getting to make sure it works for them.
And what about details such as the toilet itself and the sink, the faucets and things like that?
Yeah, totally involved, and I want to know what we're putting in, because my plumber needs to know it might not be the right application. You heard me speak to her earlier today about the rise of the sink faucet. She might get too much of a splash, so we might have to bring that down. The toilet that she's actually putting in, which we did in January in her other bathroom, is really cool. It's a dual flush toilet. So if you need, you know, if you were just urinating, so to speak, you press one button and it's a low amount of water. And if it's number two, you press the second button, it's a higher amount. So it's a very green toilet, and she wants to put that in here, so I'll do that for her.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool toilet.
All right, very good. Well, let's go take a look at the closet.
Okay.
See what you're doing over there. So John, we're here in the closet area now. Here, can you tell us about what's special that you're doing in here? What's happening in here that's something that you really like?
Well, what we're doing here, and it's kind of hard to see right now because it's still just rough framing, is we brought this wall in to make the shower bigger. And in this area, we're going to do some custom built-ins for the customer. We'll have some drawers, some shelves above it, and we'll have some shelving arrangement here. All be made out of poplar and a painted grade finish. We'll paint it all. We have, again, the transom windows in here to kind of cross-let that light with these three rooms. And we're going to do a couple of shelving rods for her up high, one here, and then maybe a very shallow built-in for some shoes or something on this side. Again, the hardwood floors will all get refinished when we do the rest of the master bedroom.
So it sounds like what you're really happy with and proud in doing is taking an area that, this is 1967, did you say?
Yes.
Taking an area that is maybe in time for some changes.
Yep.
And what your specialty is, what you really like to do is make a customer happy, is what I'm hearing from your body language, from what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's making somebody really happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, these projects aren't inexpensive, and I think it's a priority to do one job at a time, to hold the customer's hand, not only in the design, but the purchases. You know, it's kind of a fluid project. You know, if the customer comes in like her husband did yesterday and said, geez, could we have that ceiling fan control put on that wall rather than this wall where he wanted it the day before? It's not a problem. So those are the kind of things that I think are important. Nothing's set in stone. And, you know, I just think it's the most important thing when you're trying to change someone's life with a big project like this. It has to be the way they want it. They have to feel like they really did gain something out of it. And that's really customer service. And I think we really pride ourselves on that.
That's your specialty.
Yeah, that's really something I'm adamant about.
All right, very good. Well, this is a great tour. Looks like a great project. Is it fun for you to do this?
Oh yeah, we enjoy it. We have a good time, sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting toward winter, so it'd be good.
It's nice to be inside. Yeah, I know.
Nice inside.
I know.
Do you do outside work also?
We do. We do a lot of decks and types of stuff. I mean, our focus is primarily remodeling, so the outside work doesn't really constitute much remodeling, but we get into rot repair and things in between projects for customers. Decks and porches we do a lot of, basements, bathrooms, kitchens. That's kind of where we are, you know, in our business.
So what is your favorite project that you've done so far anywhere?
Well, I guess it depends on, we built a beautiful mahogany freestanding porch on Mill Street, which I just am so proud of. It's got a big fireplace at the end of it. It's gorgeous. We just finished a mudroom, which I think the built-ins are outstanding. I don't know, every project I think is good. You know, the guys that I work with, we put our little touches on stuff and take it to another level. So I guess every one of them I'm proud of.
So given regulations and changing inspection requirements and so forth, what's the most difficult thing for you to do in a project? Rewiring? Is it putting a new... Give me an example of what's really tough. What's a challenge for you?
Sometimes the plumbing can be a challenge, you know, when a customer wants to really change things, because sometimes things just aren't possible. Everything is possible. The most difficult thing is making it possible for the budget they have. That's the most difficult thing. Sorry about that. So that probably is because everything is possible. Mm-hmm. The demo is always difficult, you know, when there's blown-in insulation and mess and stuff, and trying to keep the house in an orderly fashion.
And do you see clients changing their requirements midstream a lot? Is it little? Do you figure things out ahead of time?
They don't really change their requirements midstream because I really have a lot of conversations with them prior and during. And before we do something, I make sure that, you know, we're lucky where a lot of clients are home during the day, whether the husband has an office in the house or the wife is home, we can bounce things off them as the day goes on. It makes a huge difference. Uh-huh. And, you know, I'm a very detailed guy, so I make sure that we're all on the same page before we frame a shower. If she wanted it 50 inches and we did it at 56, or so I don't want to waste my time doing something without the right information. So, you know, that detail with the customer really goes a long way.
Good. All right. Well, it sounds like you've got some fun projects going on. It sounds like this is one of them.
Yeah, it's been great.
Good.
Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So, John, these projects require a customer, and the customer here is Karen Broody. Let's meet her now. Karen, come and we'll talk about Jim Nealon.
Hi, Jim.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So how did you find John and John Hobby, JM Hobby Contracting? How did you find John for this?
Well, John did a couple of bathrooms for the Soames across the street, and they've been raving about him for years. So when we finally got our act together and decided we wanted to do our bathrooms, I called up Ellen and said, "Who's the guy that you used that you liked so much?" And she sent me to John.
So good reference sale.
Absolutely.
So how did you start with this project? You have a bathroom you want to do, you have a bedroom you wanted to do. What was your project goal? I mean, what happened? What was in your mind to cause this project to start?
Well, my husband Jim and I started thinking about this project when we bought this house in 1994, and it's just taken us a little while to get around to it. And what we thought, there's an attic space over the garage right over here, and what we had originally talked about doing was making the bathroom bigger, taking the closet and the bathroom, making a big bathroom like one of those master baths that a lot of the new houses have, and then putting the closet over here. So we brought John and his engineer up here to talk about that, and they kind of looked at us and said, well, there are a lot of reasons why that might not make the most sense, which was great. We had a good conversation about it and ultimately decided to do the project that we are doing, which was to make the bathroom a little bit bigger and turn it into a more kind of contemporary bathroom, still give me all the closet space I need, but not have to deal with the engineering challenges.
So it sounded like it was a very collaborative process that you went back and forth and said, no, not this, yeah, I don't think so, that sort of thing when you were trying to figure out what to do. Absolutely,
yeah. The way we work with John is we kind of tell him what we're thinking about, and then he sets us straight if what we're thinking about doesn't make sense. But he and his team, I feel like, always come up with a bunch of options for us and are really good about steering us towards what I think ends up being the best option.
Yeah, it sounds
so
like
he's a real advisor in addition to just doing the work.
So it sounds like you're very hands-on, also coming in and talking about things and working throughout the project?
I don't know that I'm that hands-on. What would you
Well,
say? I have my ideas, but
You're available for a comment, which means the world to us, like I said earlier. I mean, Karen's available, and I mean, you know what you want.
yeah.
And we say, well, do you want it this way or that way? And, well, I want it that way. Okay, done.
And then how do you go about making all the color decisions and all the fabric things, if there are fabrics involved in the tops and all that? How do you go about that? Do you work with John for that? Did John make those decisions for you? How do you do that?
Well, on some of the stuff, I've gone and done it myself. He definitely gives me advice on what he thinks, as do the other guys that he works with, which has been great. I tell everybody that I'm glad that it's just a bathroom because I'm really bad at making all those different decisions. But they've been very helpful in terms of helping us think about like where to put the electric outlets, and I talked to a woman that he sent me to at Home Depot down in Bellingham who really helped me think about the finishes, the tiles and the woods and that kind of thing.
The total project length here is about how long, man?
I'd say, we started a week ago today, and we'll probably have about another 3 weeks,
Okay.
and that's bringing it to full closure. I mean, the last guy in here is the hardwood floor guy, so I'm just kind of bringing that all out. Putting big things in place take no time. It's all this little detail stuff that takes the time. So I mean, a week to do this is great, sounds great, but this is nothing compared to what's coming.
So in a few weeks you'll be finished with this and you'll be able to move back into this and enjoy this. So then what will be your next project that you're going to do?
Well, I think we may have to take a break for a little while after this one. Right. Yep, John did the other bathroom for us last winter, and so this will be it for us for a little while.
Well, that sounds like a good project for you and a good track for you. So congratulations on this. Congratulations to you on working on this. Looks like a wonderful project.
We'll send you a picture when we're done.
That sounds good.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay, thank you for your help.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.